Now,
all right, Kevin.
make sure it's working now.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people... Oh, no, it's wrong speech. I'm sorry. Same speech. Now, I was thinking about when Brian asked me to speak for him, I was trying to think back to the old days and what would I use to describe Brian. And I guess the first thing that came up to my mind was like gym rat. But really, that doesn't do him justice, actually. I mean, sure, he used to hang out at the gym all the time and bug Mr. Rooney and his brother Terry doing the book and all that sort of stuff. But he actually, I think, spent more time down here at the field and the football fields and four squares and everywhere around the park. So I guess you really could call him a Colgate field junkie. Now, I know everybody talks. There's an awful lot of Colgate field junkies around here, but like Brian gets a special shout out for this because it was definitely easier for like a Farley boy or a Murphy or a Barragona boy just to fall out of their front door and become a Colgate field junkie. Brian, think of Brian, he lived on the fringe of Colgate territory, all the way up on Mountain Avenue by the reservation, and every day he'd have to trudge all the way down here, play the games, hang around, hope that some sympathetic mother would give him lunch, or maybe go up to Tito's and have Mr. Minnelli give him a free lunch or whatever, and then by the end of the day, trudge back up with his balls and bats and whatever, and start another day the next day. So, and let me remember, that's the days when if you ever asked your parents for a ride, they'd look at you like you had two heads. There was no rides given at any time back then. So Brian got his most out of Colgate Field, and actually baseball was his best sport. He played reserves, obviously Little League, Babe Ruth, and then ultimately became an old-time softball player like the rest of us. I think he played for Gaffers. But in between, he did play all right for himself. Brian was a very good pitcher. He went to Seton Hall Prep and was a starting pitcher on the team. From what I understand, very good curveball, so-so fastball for the most part, but he did himself quite well. He also played football, lightweights, heavyweights for PAL, and actually I guess his second love was basketball, high noon league, night league, everything like that. He was always, Brian was always around Colgate Field. Then after that, he went to the University of Virginia, and I think to his eternal shame, he got in there on his brains, not his athletic ability. But he does have some claim to fame. He actually, on his intramural team, I just found that out, he was a teammate of Rick Carlisle, who's the head coach right now of the Dallas Mavericks. I don't think they talk much, but they are together. And he also was an announcer on the radio for University of Virginia baseball games. So. Right, so that's his claim to fame, I guess. But right now, Brian, he lives up in Morristown with his lovely wife, Vicki, and his daughter, Riley. And he comes down often. I just like welcome back to Colgate Hall of Fame, and congratulations getting in the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. I think I'm more like Wayne in the journeyman category as opposed to the Dan Detour real athletic accomplishment category. When Barry Skinner called me and let me know I was in, I was certainly flattered, a little bit surprised. Thought they were looking for my brother Terry, who was truly a really good athlete. I called Bill Keogh, and he said, no, we just found another tape measure shot home run ball that you hit. And I felt bad. I had to correct him. I said, Bill, if there's a tape measure home run ball you found, I more than likely pitched it than hit it. But nonetheless, I thank the entire committee. I'm humbled and really grateful. Kevin introduced my wife Vicki and my daughter Riley. Robert had introduced my sister Kathy, her husband Bill, and son Greg are also here. I want to thank them for coming. Colleen's husband Dave, and my sister Beth here as well. Colleen and Beth, you maybe don't necessarily think of Colgate, and my niece Jane, I'm sorry, who's the blondest one here. But Colleen and Beth actually were pioneers. They were among the first girls to play Little League baseball in West Orange, which is something we were always very proud of. And then a couple of people I just want to say thank you to Louis Santucci. I was happy to see today. Louis, along with Roger Blind, probably were two of the best teachers of fundamentals in any sport in West Orange. So I did not have the ability to blame my coaches for my lack of success. I was taught very well. It was the ability that may have been a little lacking. And then Robert made some nice comments this morning. For the record, yes, you guys were very good. And I can tell you, at the age of 13, you can see the leadership skills in Robert already developing. So it's terrific to see what he's developed into as a person, and just not living in West Orange anymore with people like Billy Keogh and Robert Priestley running things in the town. It's still a great town. It's something we're all very proud of. So thank you.